There is a silent saboteur that begins affecting most women in their 30s. It has no symptoms, you can't feel it, but it's quietly determining the quality of the rest of your life. I'm talking about bone density loss, and if you think it's an old lady problem, think again. The foundation for a strong, active and independent future is being built or broken down in your body right now. Welcome back to Living Leré. The good news is you have so much power to protect yourself, and it can be absolutely delicious. Not only will I be sharing some wonderful information about how you can keep your bones healthy, but I'm also going to be showing you how to make a delicious, vibrant green smoothie full of alkalizing minerals that'll nourish your bones and keep you healthy. So let's get into it. We're all dealt with genes, and we can't change that. We have a genetic predisposition. Each one of us have genetic predispositions to different things. And unfortunately, in my family, we have a genetic predisposition to unhealthy bones. And so one of the biggest things that the way I live my life is, what am I doing so that I don't help that gene display as it wants to display? And our genes are like servants. They obey us and they do what we tell them to do. And so everything I do is to feed my bones, to nourish my bones, so that I don't end up where some people in my family have ended up with terrible, terrible diseases of the bone. I want to share with you some practical and effective tips on how you can improve and optimize your bone health. And for me, it always starts with a diet. And again, remember, we'll never get breakthrough in our health if we don't address what we put at the end of our fork. I just love that saying, don't you? And so I want to share some strategies with you. And first and foremost, I want to share with you, what are you putting on your plate? So we know that the pH of the human blood is naturally alkaline. And the body, that's what the body does. It naturally balances its pH, and it's working all the time to strive and maintain balance. But here's the challenge. In the Western world today, we eat a very large amount of acid-forming foods and not enough of alkaline-forming foods. And so what are those acid-forming foods? Those acid-forming foods are simply processed foods, your junk foods, your foods that have been cooked to high temperatures, sodas, ice cream, any junk food. Stress can also acidify the body. And so we don't eat enough of the alkaline forming minerals, and those alkaline forming minerals are found in fruits and vegetables. So all your fruits and vegetables in their raw whole food state are what we classify as alkaline. And almonds are very alkaline forming. Within your nuts and of course in your grains, it's your millet. Millet has been around for many thousands of years. It's an ancient grain and it's alkalizing. So what happens is, when we eat a diet very high in acid-forming foods, our blood needs to neutralize that acidity, and so it uses calcium to do that. And where does it go and get calcium? It borrows calcium from the bones. And if it's doing that over and over and over, what is going to happen is we are going to eventually, in the long run, we are going to be depleted and our bone loss is going to be significant. So I always challenge people to eat more from Nature's Pantry, more raw fruits and vegetables, and those alkalizing foods that once you have eaten them, once they've gone through digestion, they leave an alkaline ash on your bloodstream. And in that way, you are helping the body, you are giving the body the tools it needs, and you are not causing the body to go and borrow calcium from the bones and get depleted. I heard someone once say that we need to know our numbers, and one of the numbers we really need to know is your vitamin D. Where is your vitamin D at? Most people are walking around with depleted vitamin D levels, and vitamin D is so important for calcium absorption in the body. So we need to get outside in the natural sunlight. And I'm not saying get in the midday sun, you know, I'm just saying we need to get some sun on our skin, because that helps to make natural vitamin D. And remember, we can never improve on God's design. And if your blood work is showing that you are low in vitamin D, get with your healthcare provider and make sure you are taking a good supplement to get those vitamin D levels up. Then I want to encourage you to move your body. Oh my gosh, it is so important to move your body, especially those weight-bearing exercises like weights, when we walk, when we do reformer Pilates, things like that. That stress on the bone helps to make bone and increases osteoblast capacity within the bone. So I want to encourage you, move. So often we are very active in our younger years and we play sports, but I don't know what happens. The wheels fall off and we get less and less active as we age. And let me encourage you, it is the biggest mistake that you can make. And my dad always encouraged us to play sport when we were younger. Because let me tell you, if you're looking to bank bone, we need to start banking bone in our teenage years. That's where we start. And as we age, that bone gets depleted. Prioritize your calcium-rich foods. Your bones store 99% of the calcium in your body. And it's so important for us to nourish our bodies with calcium that can be absorbed. So think of sesame seeds, think of some of your fortified food. Think of your leafy greens like spinach and kale. Those are the kind of foods we need to add into our diets. Something else that comes to mind is sardines. So many of you may say, ew, but oh my gosh, sardines are those little fish that you can eat, and most people just don't like them because they don't know how to prepare them. But I grew up eating sardines on toast. That was my dad's favorite, and he used to mash them with a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, or we say Worcester sauce in South Africa, or a little bit of balsamic vinegar. And you mash it up and you put it on some sourdough toast or some avocado, and then put the beans on the sardines on top of that. And oh my gosh, those are all foods that are loaded with calcium. Then I want to encourage you to limit your bone depleting habits. There are many things that steal from our bones and deplete calcium from our bones. And some of them are, for example, drinking too much caffeine. When we drink too much caffeine, that's one of the biggest robber of calcium from the bones. Alcohol, diets that are very high in sodium and salt can deplete. And then, of course, things like smoking can also leach calcium from the bones. So there you go, just a few tips that you can go and apply in your life. And also magnesium. Magnesium is one of those alkalizing minerals. It's nature's calming mineral. So that we also find in our leafy greens. So I hope you can take just a few of these pointers, go and apply them, and know that you are doing everything that you can do to keep your bones healthy. I want to encourage you, it's not worth going down that rabbit hole. Healthy, strong bones equals a healthy, strong life. If you're enjoying what you see here on Living Leré, go ahead and give this video a like. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss a new recipe or lifestyle tip. Oh my gosh, we've got so much more coming your way. Now, many of you know I love my smoothies. I'm by no means married to a blender. I don't live on smoothies all the time, but you know what? There's a time and a place for a smoothie. So many of the smoothies that you purchase at these smoothie stores or the smoothie bars, can you believe, have over 100 grams of added sugars? I mean, I can't even wrap my brain around that. So let me show you how to make a delicious smoothie that's delicious. It's got all the fiber, it's got good protein, it's got fat, and it's refreshing and it's going to nourish you. There are two variations to the smoothie, and I want to share both with you. So If you wanted to go more of the meal replacement route, you can do unsweetened nut milk, whatever your choice, and then you can add a good protein powder. I love the AIM ProPeas. It's a plant-based protein powder. It's very kind to your digestive system. It digests in 4 hours, so you've got more sustainable blood sugar. And then you can do exactly as I've shared now, but you're just using the almond milk or the nut milk and then the protein powder. And if you want to really love your blood sugar a little bit more, you can add a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. So that would be the meal replacement. But this one is my summery green smoothie, and it really has a nice, fresh, tropical vibe to it. So what we're going to do, we've just put in some water, about 3 cups of water. Now, always remember, when you are making a smoothie, it's like making a soup. Always start with less liquid, because if you put too much in, it's really going to mess up the whole smoothie recipe, okay? So you can always add, but you can't take out. Right. If you are feeling a little bit dehydrated and you want a little bit more of a hydration smoothie, you can add unsweetened coconut water. And that'll even add another level to this delicious green smoothie. Okay, I love to do this when I've played 3 sets of singles tennis, when we play league and I'm exhausted. This is the kind of smoothie I love to come home and make, but with the coconut water, because I need to be replenishing and putting back my electrolytes. Okay, we're going to start with 1 apple. Okay. To that, we're going to add ginger. So again, ginger is so beneficial. It has so many anti-inflammatory properties. It is so good for the gut. It's so calming to your digestive system. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing you can add to the smoothie. And you can add as much or as little. You may want to start with about so much or even half of that. But for me, I love ginger, so I'm going to put in a whole bunch. Then I'm going to add some turmeric root, another wonderful anti-inflammatory spice. I just put a little bit in, otherwise it can make your smoothie bitter. So go easy on that. And many people take turmeric supplements, but I want to encourage you, buy the turmeric root and incorporate it into your food and into your diet. Then we're going to do a tablespoon of chia seeds. Ooh, messed a little bit there. We're going to do some chia seeds. I also like to just add a monkey pinch of raw almonds, just for extra protein. And then some fresh kale from my garden. And when kale is so young and picked fresh from the garden, it's so tender. So I'm just going to put a nice handful of kale in there. Just take it off like that. That's probably enough. I can always add more if I need to. Okay, and then something I love to do, I love to freeze leftover coconut milk in an ice tray. And let me tell you, it never goes to waste. If I'm making a coconut curry or a Thai curry, I just plop one of these into my curry, or I use it in soups instead of cream. Or in this case, I have one left, so I thought, this would work great to give this smoothie a real tropical vibe. So this is organic, low-fat coconut. I'm not going to put a lot of pineapple in, but I am going to just add maybe 1 or 2 blocks. They're not big, just 2 blocks like that, just to get that pineapple taste. Just look at that. Isn't that beautiful? We're going to pop the lid on, and then we are going to blend it all up. So no smoothie is complete without some ice. I'm going to add some ice because I like my smoothies cold. It must be like a milkshake. So I just wanted to give you another option here. If you did not want to do the monkey pinch of almonds, you can put a little bit of avocado in to give it that creamier taste and to add some good fat to that. So let's do it all up again. And so now let's pour this out and show you how delicious it is. And because everything is more pretty with green, we're going to put a little bit of fresh mint on top. And there you go. Cheers to good health, and I hope you try this delicious green smoothie. It really is delicious.